Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we re-diving into one of history's most captivating and mysterious stories, the tale of the Queen of Sheba. Who was this powerful ruler, and what really happened when she met the legendary King Solomon? Let's unravel the threads of history, legend, and scripture to find out. The story begins in the ancient world, around the 10th century BCE. Whispers travel across desert trade routes, carried by merchants and travelers, all speaking of a wise and incredibly wealthy king in Jerusalem named Solomon. His fame for wisdom granted by God was said to be unmatched by any ruler on earth. These stories eventually reached the ears of a formidable monarch from a distant, prosperous land known as Sheba. Now, the exact location of Sheba is one of history's great puzzles. Most scholars believe it was in modern-day Yemen, a region known for its lucrative trade in frankincense and myrrh aromatics more valuable than gold at the time. Others suggest it could have been in Ethiopia. Regardless of the precise geography, Sheba was a kingdom of immense wealth and influence, and its queen was no mere figurehead. She was a savvy, intelligent, and curious leader. Intrigued and perhaps a little skeptical of the extravagant tales about Solomon, the Queen of Sheba decided she had to see this for herself, but this wasn't just a casual visit. The Bible, in the book of 1 Kings, tells us she came to test him with hard questions. This was a diplomatic and intellectual expedition of the highest order. She wasn't coming to be impressed. She was coming to challenge him, to gauge the depth of his wisdom and the true extent of his kingdom's power. Imagine the sight of her caravan. It was a procession of unprecedented splendor. Camels laden with spices, vast quantities of gold and precious stones. This wasn't just a gift, it was a statement. It was Sheba demonstrating its own might and prosperity. The queen arrived in Jerusalem not as a subordinate, but as an equal, ready for a meeting of minds. The moment of their meeting must have been electric. The Bible describes how she posed all her hard questions to Solomon, and there was nothing hidden from the king that he could not explain to her. She challenged him on matters of philosophy, governance, and the mysteries of the natural world. And with every answer, Solomon not only met her expectations but exceeded them. He didn't just recite facts. He demonstrated a profound understanding of the world and humanity. But it wasn't just his words that astounded her. The scripture says when she saw the palace he had built, the food on his table, the organization of his court, and the sheer scale and order of his kingdom, she was left breathless. It was one thing to hear about his wisdom, but it was another thing entirely to see how that wisdom manifested in a thriving, prosperous, and well-run society. Everything, from the architecture to the administration, was a testament to his divine gift. Overwhelmed by what she had witnessed, the queen declared, "The report I heard in my own country about your achievements and your wisdom is true. But I did not believe these things until I came and saw with my own eyes." This meeting was more than just an intellectual sparring match. It was a powerful exchange of culture, respect, and mutual admiration. She praised Solomon's God, recognizing the divine source of his wisdom. In return, King Solomon gave the Queen of Sheba all she desired and asked for, besides what he had given her out of his royal bounty. It was a gesture of immense generosity between two powerful sovereigns. After this historic summit, the Queen of Sheba returned to her country, her mind filled with new knowledge and her caravan likely filled with new treasures. And here, the biblical account ends, leaving us with a tantalizing cliffhanger. But the story doesn't stop there for many cultures. In Ethiopian tradition, the story is expanded dramatically in their national epic, the caravan, or the Glory of Kings. This text tells of a romance between Solomon and the queen, whose name is given as Makeda. According to this version, they had a son named Menelik, who would become the first emperor of Ethiopia. The legend continues that when Menelik grew up, he traveled to Jerusalem to meet his father. Solomon, overjoyed, asked him to stay and rule after him, but Menelik chose to return to his homeland. As he left, the story says he took with him the most sacred object in all of Judaism, the Ark of the Covenant. The caravan claims that the Ark was brought to Ethiopia, where it remains to this day in the city of Axum, guarded by a single monk. This belief is a cornerstone of the Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church and a central part of Ethiopia's national identity. So what can we take away from the story of the Queen of Sheba? She represents a powerful, intelligent female ruler in a world dominated by men. She embodies curiosity, the courage to seek knowledge, and the humility to recognize wisdom when she finds it. Her journey wasn't one of conquest, but of discovery. Her meeting with Solomon is a timeless story about the power of dialogue, diplomacy, and mutual respect. It shows that true greatness isn't just about wealth or military might, but about wisdom, understanding, and the ability to build and lead with integrity. Whether you see her as a historical figure, a biblical icon, or a legendary ancestor, the Queen of Sheba remains one of history's most fascinating and enduring figures. Her quest for knowledge continues to inspire us thousands of years later. And what about the Ark of the Covenant? Let me know your theories and thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for joining me on this historical journey today. If you enjoyed this video and want to explore more stories from the annals of history, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss an update. It really helps the channel grow. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.